I'm starting this video off right. That applause you just heard, that applause goes out to every single one of our players tonight. Our players tonight who stepped up, who played for the badge, who played with pride, and played like the only team on the field today that wanted to win this game. This whole week, I've been hearing forced talk around Arsenal title favourites, title contending game, title this, title that, the battle between Rice and all this nonsense, all this cap. But today, if you're a neutral leaving this game, Arsenal fans, you probably had a rude awakening. You probably were feeling things that you've been trying to suppress for a while. And you probably leave this game feeling like, are you guys really serious about a title challenge? Because in a game where you had a mad advantage for 50 minutes of this game, yeah, you showed to me that you got no ideas outside of your OP set piece meta. Anything open play, they weren't there. And throughout this entire game, they were second fiddle to us. Second to every ball, second to every challenge, second to intensity, yeah? Didn't matter if we had 10 outfield players and then when we had 9. Today, we showed exactly how good we are now under Enzo Maresca, yeah? I've learned so much about my team. At the start of the season, once we went down to 10 men, you would see an Enzo Maresca that was overthinking, that was fearful, that was envisioning the worst, and his decisions would actually impact and hurt the team. But today, you saw an Enzo that trusted the team, that knew that the team, most importantly, yeah, this team could still compete, even if we went down against the title favourites. And seeing that ridiculous contrast, yeah, from the start of the season, being in these crazy situations, to being the same crazy one in this game against the best team in the country right now, tells you exactly how far we've come as a team. Like, bro, I was watching this game today. I was seeing the groundwork, the intensity, how we moved as a team off the ball, and a constant unity, constant packs. And I was thinking about the times where our mentality wasn't quite there, where we would self-implode, which we still got in us, let's not forget. But we'd let moments slip us. We'd make massive flaws and mistakes in our game. The gaps you'd see in midfield opening up, yeah, none of that existed. And all the work that Maresca's put in over the year in terms of intensity, pressing structure, gaps and distances between how these guys hunt in packs, we're now seeing the rewards of this due diligence, of all this effort that's gone into this coaching. And I think today Maresca will leave here feeling incredibly proud of what this team just did today under the circumstances we found ourselves in. And that's a scary thing, right? That is a scary... Bro, we are a younger team than what we was last season, but we're better in all aspects. And the fact that down to 10 men, we still could have forced something. We were still pushing men forward. We didn't play with fear. We didn't just sit back to allow Arsenal to have free space on the ball and free pressure. We maintained our intensity and they could not cope. They could not handle it. And we're seeing what this intensity now is doing to some of the big teams here in this planet. And bro, I can't leave this game without feeling optimistic and really excited for the future. People have been gassing up this title contending game. You guys have been watching me. Ignore this Fugazi talk. The real challenge comes literally tomorrow, the Christmas period. That's when we can really see what we're about. And that's a bigger threat for us compared to Arsenal's and Barcelona's. I knew we could do something because I've been seeing what Maresca's been cooking with this team, and I think it's culminated now. It's undeniable after this performance we put in with 10 men against Arsenal. But you know what, man? There's so many performances I want to discuss because I'm just seeing this common theme of the contrast with how we've developed now, how we've improved in all aspects. And I think one of the biggest shining examples of that improvement on the field today goes down to one particular player. Because before this game, everything was built up around Declan Rice Moises Caicedo, the battle of the eons. You know, we haven't seen midfield battles like this since Yaya Toure, Nemanja Matic. People are kind of like projecting and willing for it to kind of be this type of midfield clash. We were talking about Zubamendi's, Enzo Fernandez's, but the player today who dominated and made that midfield his was our captain in Reece James. What a performance. A lot of us already back in the day, we kind of envisioned this future where Reece James could potentially kind of transition into playing in midfield. But the way he's not only transitioned, but I'm not going to lie, I think there's strong shouts that this is one of the best midfield players in the country. Because him in midfield today was the reason why we won this game. Yeah? Kante would have been proud. Caicedo would have been proud. Everyone who's played in midfield at this football club over the years would have been proud by what they saw, yeah? What a performance. A titan performance today in midfield from Reece James, yeah? This, bro, how many times was he literally winning possession back and then playing the most perfectly sliced switch balls to find a winger out wide? It was out of this world. The intensity, yeah? His game reading. Bro, there was a time last season, let's keep it real, Reece kind of suffered a little bit in these big games against bigger and better opposition in midfield. But right now, you've just seen this constant trajectory of improvement to the point where it's culminating in his best ever midfield performance for us. And I've been saying this about his midfield games like the last 2 months right now. Yeah? That delivery to then find Trevor Chalobah for the goal he scored. That commitment, the intent, it was infectious intensity, which meant that, listen, every one of his teammates had to rise to the efforts that Reece put out there. Total midfield masterclass. I did not see Rice at all. What did he do in this game today? Yeah, I saw Nish. I was seeing good things from Moy until, that moment we'll discuss. But let's discuss the negative point at the end. I think there's a lot more positive things to discuss, boys, after what we saw today. But my Lord, Reece James, it just even pisses me off with my diabolical showing on Sky News. Well, listen, if you guys are unaware, I was told 5 minutes before I was live on air that we was doing a predicted lineup. I had no idea. I wasn't as prepared as I would have because I was allowing nonsense arguments like Timber over Reece James. Oh, but Reece hasn't played enough games. Oh, but did Timber not literally miss a whole season because of injury? Bro, yeah. I was completely spun, I'll be honest with you guys. But I just love that my captain did the talking. You know, all these charlatans that was thinking that Reece might be second fiddle to any other man in this country. You see today why this guy walks into any team in the world and takes them to a different level. Incredible performance today from Reece James. And yeah, we got to eulogize this guy. But, bro, I saw a lot of other performances today that was making me proud. And I think another guy that deserves his credit, that has to get spoken about in a different light. You need to update your iOS software around this guy right now, yeah? Yeah? You need to. You need to update. You need to patch up right now. Because Robert Sanchez might be one of the best keepers in the Prem right now. The mentality this guy is playing with. Ever since I saw that showcase against Paris Saint-Germain, when he was one of the key decisive players to help us get that win, I've just been seeing a different Sanchez ever since. I've seen a Sanchez that he looks in the mirror and he's proud to be 6'7". You know what I mean? I'm superior to all you midgets out there talking niche on my name. You're seeing it in the confidence in which he's carrying himself now, in press duties as well. That talk he was giving after the Barca game, that's what I want to hear right now. But you're seeing it with how his teammates react around him. Not only was he constantly just nullifying, any type of useless set-piece threat that Arsenal could muster, because that was all they had in this game. They had no other ideas. And as I was saying, yeah, they can score set pieces, but what can these lot do from open play? And we saw nothing. But that moment right near the end, when he had to show bravery, when he had to accept he was going to get some serious contacts, That moment right there just summarizes the vast improvements in this guy's game. Because you know what I loved about not only the saves he made at the near post, and this guy was sharp with the shot stopping throughout this game today, but it was the fact that after he made that save, got down low really fast, he got up quick, he was alert, and then he actually caught the ball with two hands. Two hands. Other keepers are just punching it away desperately, yeah? They're not looking to try and control that area, control that moment, but that's what Robert Sanchez does right now. And this guy, for me, has just stepped up ridiculously to the point where I've got confidence in him. And as I keep saying, yeah, every player that can turn their future around, perform, step up, I will be the first one, the first guy to give you credit and give you praise, yeah? I've done it for Rudigers. I've done it for Cucurella. I've done it for many players because I don't have no personal vendetta against multi-millionaires, yeah? I'm humble. I'm not stupid. And I think it's time that all of us now have to start seeing Robert Sanchez in a new light because only top keepers give you this type of possibility in games like this. That's what I got to say. But, man, you're seeing the lineup. I had to leave it on screen. The defense today, Chalobah. Oh, this fan base, put some respect in this brother's name, yeah? Every time he makes the slightest mistake, all the Charlatans are quick to come out to be like, see, this is why I've always hated him. But this guy, yeah, from our academy, you know, the story, all the adversity, personal life, sporting life, getting discarded by this football club for nothing, to leave her as the best defender. That's goal he scored. His third goal this season, I tell you. Third goal. That's how much contribution this guy makes for us throughout the season. Probably his best header he scored for us. Probably the best header he scored. That cushion effort, yeah, near post. To score a set-piece goal against Arsenal in that fashion from the same type of set-pieces they love to take. I was dreaming from that moment and I thought, you know what? Are we going to go on and do this? But just seeing him and seeing Fofana, this is our best back too. It's going to be very hard for Ashley and Badia to get into this team because these guys, they look like brothers in arms. That's how they defended today. Yeah, that's how they move for that presence on the field today. Warriors dominating their boxes. Listen, slightest error from Fofana to lose Merino. The slightest error. And I was saying, if there was one player I was fearful from Arsenal, I was saying in my previews, it was Merino because he's such an annoying player to come up against. He's very smart. All the dark arts he has mastered. His whole thing is, little old me, just forget about me. And this is why he keeps just coming into boxes unmarked. And I thought that might spin us actually, and my predictions kind of came true. But outside of that, to play with the character that we've shown in defense today, for both Wesley, who was reading plays ahead time and time again, confidently leaving his line, engaging, yeah, just like a pure clarity behind this defending today. I was impressed with everyone today. And, you know, obviously it's a shame that we don't leave here with a potential win because it felt like that's where the performance today was going. From the first moments of the game, we showed Arsenal that we were in it to win it. The intensity for our midfield, the turnovers we forced, the amount of yellows Arsenal picked up. Every time we had an attacking advantage, they were bringing us down with tactical fouls time and time again. And that was our incredible midfield putting in some serious work. So it's only a shame that Moises, you know, got that red card in the moment. It is what it is, you know. I know discipline issues will become a conversation. You can have that. I'm not going to get into it. But all I have to say is that we're not perfect yet. But we have to overcompensate with the aggression. We can't let that go away. Hopefully we can just improve on the details, which I think, listen, we've improved on every detail under Maresca. So we'll master our aggression even more. Best believe that. But we can't be acting as a fan base like we need to soften down. No. We can only step up. And right now, it's just an opportunity for Andre Santos to get some games under his belt, which is only going to do all of us even more wonders. It's a shame. You could argue Arsenal players in Campe, that little elbow on Chalobah. I mean, how was that not a red card? Yeah, if that's the letter of the law that we're following, bro, you can see the bruising on his face, bro. You know, he looked like one of those like the JoJo Bizarre characters with like the exaggerated like cheekbones and stuff. I mean, I'm just surprised that he was allowed to just get away with that. And there was a few times he was riding that yellow card. Yeah, what can you do? What can you do? It's a shame that that detail was the thing that ultimately cost us. Because we were showing some threat in that first half. I thought Joao Pedro's hold up was good, especially compared to Delap. You know what I mean? Esteval, maybe he came off a bit too soon, but listen, it is what it is. I got no faults with how Maresca controlled the game, and I have no faults with him not forcing substitutions, because I think the rhythm that the team played with was just too locked in, too focused. It was pure, like, game flow, state of flow at that time, that bringing on a sub would have disrupted the unity that we saw from our team then. So there was no need. I think the lap was a smart one. Even Garnacho as well, fresh legs, especially for the running that was needed to ensure that we can keep like a tight back four with either one of the wingers down each sides, of course, following one of the Arsenal wingers. You know, and Saka today, other than one cross, no, not even, he did nothing today. Noni Madueke. I know the moment he heard those boos, yeah, he definitely he definitely moused up afterwards. He didn't want to be on that field. He's probably even still can't believe that he's playing for Arsenal and not playing at Stamford Bridge no more. But yeah, man, it's little details in the end. I know that goal we conceded from the header. There's for me it was just the lap with the stupid pass to Neto that kind of ruined a lot of things then. And then maybe we could have dealt with the cross a bit better from Saka. But also, personally, I also think that Fofana should attract Merino. He just kind of evades him and he's in front of his man. And you know what I mean? What can you do then? But it doesn't matter, man. I think, listen, the performance trumps the result. And this is a great result to get. But the performance, it just typified every single improvement that we've seen from the moment Clearlake first took over to right now. It's taken us a long time to get here, but it really does feel like this is the season where this project has found its legs and it's blossoming beautifully. So my friends, that's everything I got to say. Leave your thoughts and opinions below. Make sure you guys come through for my next watch along stream and enjoy the rest of your night. Love, my friends. Up the Blues. Cool.